Hi there guys, and welcome to this week's Jonesy's Leeds United Weekly. So before we start, I just want to make a quick mention saying about how in the first three, is it 3 or 4? I can't remember now. First 3 or 4 episodes, I've obviously been involved in including the footage of the goals and everything for the past two, should I say, videos. I have been getting kind of copyright notices through from it. It's not affecting the videos too much. It just means that I can't monetize it anymore. And the ads, the Football League can put ads on it and everything. So I'm trying out different ways because I still want to try and include the goals somehow in the videos, because I think it just adds a nice little dynamic to the feature and everything. So I'm going to try out some different things to try and include them so I don't get a copyright notice and strikes, because those of you that know, for YouTubers, getting copyright strikes is not good for the channel. So bear with me whilst, if this week I don't include the goals, then obviously you understand why, but I am going to try and do my best to try and include them for future things. So with that out of the way, let's go on to the first bit of news that happened this week. So following their opening day 2-0 victory against Watford, the under-18s maintained their winning start to the season by beating Huddersfield 2-1 at Huddersfield at Canalside. Jack Turnbull opened the scoring for United just before Huddersfield hit back halfway through the first half. But after his brace against Watford, Malik Wilks was at it again and scored what proved to be the winner for Leeds literally just before half time. So a fantastic start for the youngsters there, and a particularly good start for Malik Wilks as well. 3 goals in 2 games for him. And yeah, things are looking really good for the youngsters. Sticking to a similar theme, it's been a very successful week for some of our players in getting international call-ups. Staying with the under-18 side, 16-year-old goalkeeper Will Huffer was called up to England under-18 squad, where they face the Netherlands in 2 friendlies next month, so he got called up there. Lewis Cook was called up to the England under-19s team after making his debut earlier this year in March, I believe. He's been called up for 2 friendlies. I think we're facing Germany and Croatia in 2 friendlies next month, both away matches. So great news there for Lewis Cook. He's in the 20-man side. And Stuart Dallas as well was named in Northern Ireland's team to face Hungary and the Faroe Islands in next month's Euro 2016 qualifiers. So great news there for some of our players. Always good to see some of your own players representing their national teams, no matter at what age level. Fantastic for Will Huffer. I know he's played a big part in the under-17s squad before, so he's stepping up a little bit. Same for Lewis Cook as well, after making his debut early this year. Good to see him still getting a call up. And Stuart Dallas, I think he's already had 5 caps for Northern Ireland, so obviously he'll be hoping to gain his 6th and possibly his 7th in those games next month. So good luck to those, and hope they can do well for the respective countries. The under-21s got their first win under their belt on Monday night when they played Sheffield United at Ellen Road, again in front of what seemed to be a healthy crowd. Again, lots of youngsters, as you'd expect, mixed with a few more senior players, the likes of Luke Murphy, Lee Irwin, Lewis Cook, who was coming back from suspension of course, and also Casper Slot once again. All the goals came in the second half. Just after half time, Sheffield United took the lead through Jake Wright, who slotted home past Charlie Horton in the Leeds goal. And it was pretty much 3 goals within a 10-minute period, I think. Just a couple of minutes later, Lee Irwin equalised for United with a really neat, fantastic finish from him. Turning in the box, some nice neat control and firing into the bottom left hand corner, I believe it was. So a really nice decent strike from him. And Russell did come out afterwards and praised him and said that he's given some of the first team players a run for the money with the performances he's been putting in the under-21s recently. About 3 or 4 minutes later, Luke Murphy scored what again proved to be the winner for Leeds United's under-21s with an unstoppable shot from about 25 yards out, an absolute screamer of a goal, right into the top right hand corner. Some great precision and great power behind it, and good to see Luke Murphy again, coming back from his injury, getting a longer extended period in the under-21s. I don't know if he played the full 90 minutes, but I know he played a big portion of that game, and to see him score the winner like that was superb. So really great for the under-21s to finally get their first win there on home soil as well. So yeah, hopefully they can improve and move on from that win there. And moving on to the big game that was on Saturday, of course, it was a lunchtime kick-off. Unfortunately, it was on telly, but I was working, so I only really got to see little bits of it. But the bits that I did see, I was so impressed with. I've since watched all the highlights, of course. I've not had a chance to watch the full game all the way through. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. So there were just 2 changes from the game against Sheffield Wednesday the previous week. Lewis Cook coming straight back from suspension, he was straight into the squad, and also Alex Mowat was brought back in. And the people going out was Calvin Phillips, which I pretty much guessed from the Sheffield Wednesday game. He just didn't really see him in it, and he's not quite ready to have such a run in the team as yet. And Mirko Antonucci was another sort of casualty for bringing more in midfield and sacrificing someone else up front. So he gave way for Mount to come back in. But what a start! I mean, the first half is probably some of the best football overall that I've seen Leeds United play for quite some time. The work rate was incredible. On and off the ball we were doing so much. Off the ball we were closing the Derby players down. We weren't giving them any time on the ball to really get anything going, to be honest. And on the ball we were working fantastically. Some great passing, especially in midfield. Once again it was the youngsters kind of linking up, and we saw that early on with some great link-up play and passing and movement, leading to Chris Wood's shot just over the bar, just a curling effort that would have gone in the top corner, but just hit the top of the netting, unfortunately. But yeah, just overall the tempo of the game and the work rate from the players was really, really great to see, especially after sort of some of the performances we've seen so far this season. It looked like a completely different team. It looked like it's kind of the first time we've had a week's training between matches, so maybe just having that break and having that week to have a full week on the training pitch, and the players getting together, maybe it is just what we needed. And yeah, it was certainly working really well in the first half. Whatever plans Rosa was working on certainly seemed to be doing the trick anyway. Limiting Derby to I think they only had like 2 efforts on goal in the first half, but none of them on target. I think we had something like 8 or 9. And the only one we did get on target was the goal from Tom Adeyemi, literally just on the stroke of half time. It was a corner that was a bit debated, but was a tough one for the linesman or the referee to see, really. But it was a short corner worked with Stuart Dallas, and I think it was Mowat, who then passed the ball back to Dallas, who put a fantastic ball into the middle of the box. And Tom Adeyemi was pretty much unchallenged, really poor defending from Derby, but he came storming in, a fantastic guided header just past Scott Carson. A pretty simple header really, but still had to put that finish away. And great to see him get his first proper goal, if you don't include the one in pre-season. First proper goal for the club, and obviously celebrating in front of the away fans is always a great opportunity for any Leeds United player. And we looked good for our 1-0 lead at half time. Having said that, I think everyone saw it coming that Derby were going to come out all guns blazing second half, and they did just that. I mean, the first few minutes they were just constantly attacking, forced Silvestri into a fantastic save as well, forced a few corners and everything. And about 4 minutes into the second half, they did get the equaliser. The ball played into Chris Martin just on the outside of the penalty area. Some decent footwork from him. Wrong-footed Liam Cooper, who kind of thought he was going to take a shot, pushed it onto his left foot and fired pretty much an unstoppable shot into the bottom left-hand corner. Silvestri, no chance really, and just a pretty decent finish from Martin really. And the rest of the half kind of went in that same vein really. It was basically all Derby. They were peppering us a little bit, but the defence stayed really strong actually. Although they were getting a lot more chances on target this time, the defence did stick to the plan and everything. We were having to sit back and just rely on a few counter-attacks here and there, but Silvestri pulled off some good saves. He had a good strong game, which was good to see. And just the defence in general, we did a job. We could see that a job needed doing. But I'm just glad that we didn't sit back and settle for the point. Changes were made. Luke Murphy was brought on and Antonucci was brought on, and pretty much straight away Antonucci was getting involved. He set up Chris Wood, a nice little dink kind of cross into the penalty area perfectly. You know, the precision on it was really top notch. And unfortunately for Wood, I don't know if there was a slight nick off the defender's head or whether he just saw it last minute, but he headed over the bar when, you know, really looking at it you'd think he should do better, but you can probably see why he missed it. And I think everyone thought that was probably going to be our last really good chance of the game. But we did still keep moving forward. We didn't give up, and with about 2 minutes left to go, Lewis Cook with some nice footwork in the centre of the field, picked out Wood on the edge of the area, who kind of turned the ball away from him, was basically going away from goal, but let fly with this unstoppable shot from just outside the area. Carson with no chance, you know, Carson couldn't even dive for it. Just clipped the inside of the post and went straight in. And yeah, Q, absolutely mental scenes in the away end. I was gutted because I missed it. Like I say, I was at work and I was dealing with some customers. So I actually thought we'd drawn the game. I didn't know we'd won until I got a text through. But yeah, watching it back, it was just such a well controlled shot. You know, nice control to begin with. You know, taking it away from him, drawing the Derby defender out, and then letting him fly like that. Because it takes some control to do that kind of, you know, moving it away from goal and doing a shot like that. So it's good to see some confidence from Chris Wood, you know, after a bit of a shaky start and then obviously that penalty miss against Doncaster. He's come back nice and strong, you know, that's 3 goals in 3 for him now against Bristol City, Sheffield Wednesday and now Derby. And to get the first win in 13 seasons, well 13 years at Derby, it's been such a bogey side for us lately. We don't do too bad against them at Ellen Road, but at Pride Park, well I know it's the iPro Stadium now, but yeah, at Pride Park as I'll always know it, it's always been a really bad ground to go to. So yeah, the first victory there in 13 years was really quite a sweet one. So it sees us move up to 10th, you know, those 4 draws in a row. Finally getting that first win, it means that they weren't for nothing. If we'd have drawn this one, which I don't think we'd have minded too much, but if we had have lost it, then really those first 4 draws would have been all for nothing. But to get those 3 points, it's a really big 3 points. I think it will do a lot for the team, a lot for the confidence. The only problem now is we're into the international break, so we haven't got a game for 2 weeks, which is really annoying. I'm not really one for the international matches, really. They don't interest me that much, and it's just a shame, you know, getting that momentum finally and then having it taken away. Yes, it's good to have some time on the training pitch and work on quite a few things, but you know, the 2 weeks off is a little bit too much, and it's a big shame. But either way, it's still good confidence for the players, good confidence for the fans as well, and yeah, we move on. So tomorrow is transfer deadline day. Some people look forward to it, some people hate it. I don't really see the fuss in it, to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I hate seeing rushed deals and stupid money kind of just thrown around during transfer deadline day. But it does look like we will be getting at least 1 transfer through being pushed through. A winger by the name of Jordan Bataka, I think it's Bataka. I don't think anyone had really heard of him. He's a 22-year-old Congo international, plays for the Dutch side Excelsior, and he seems to be quite a tricky prospect. I mean, you can never properly go off YouTube videos. I hate it when people do base a hell of a lot of things on just seeing YouTube videos. I mean, people put things up of Habib Habibou and people were excited for him to come, and you know, he was just a plank of wood basically. So yeah, I don't like to go too much off what you see from YouTube videos, but you know, he definitely does have speed. You can't doubt that. He has a little bit of skill under his locker as well, which seems quite good. Under his locker, I'm pretty sure he'd have the skill in his locker. But there we go. Well done, Chris. And he doesn't seem afraid to take players on, which again is vital and what we want to see. So getting someone in like him looks like it could be a good thing. Apparently the deal's pretty much done. It just needs to be kind of signed and gone through with. Apparently it's going to be in the region of about £1 million all in all. So that's probably going to get finalised tomorrow and revealed and everything. And apparently, according to journalists, we are meant to be in for another winger. but no one really knows who or who it could be. There was mooted things about Lapara from Wolves, but no one's really saying that's expected to go through. Both clubs not really saying too much about it, so I doubt that's going to happen. For some reason, people are talking about Aaron Lennon on Twitter today, which again, it always seems to happen when it comes to transfer deadline day, and people just always go for past players. Aaron Lennon has still got Premier League quality, so why he will come down to the Championship, I really don't know. Obviously, it would be on loan, but I just don't really see the need of it. If it was to happen, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I won't be up for that. I mean, it'd be fantastic for it to happen, but I just don't see it happening, and I don't see why we always have to kind of go back to past players when there are so many other players out there that we could be going for. So I'd rather not kind of waste time and effort on that. Obviously, the Fernando Forestieri deal didn't go through because he's now at Sheffield Wednesday, and to be honest, it just went on way too long. It was very clear that he didn't want to come to the club. So why we didn't kind of end the speculation in the deal earlier, I don't know. I don't know why fans were too fussed anyway. They kept on going on about it. There was rumour that he was wanting to stay down south, which obviously can't be true since he's gone to Sheffield Wednesday. But apparently it must have been something to do with the wages that were offered. So obviously Sheffield Wednesday have made a greater offer than what we could, and he's gone to Sheffield Wednesday. So good luck to the player, no beef with it, I just wish people would move on from it. And the Anthony Lambomba transfer, that just seems to have completely disappeared off the table. No one seems to be talking about that one anymore. So maybe, that might be the one that we're still after. We don't know, but no journalists, no one seems to be talking about it anymore. So I can pretty much expect that one to not happen. So it'll be interesting to see what does happen tomorrow. It seems like there'll be a few things happening. Maybe a few will go out. I'm expecting maybe a few players to go out, the likes of Jonesy and Slot possibly, and just see who does come in. It might be an interesting one, but not one I'm entirely kind of excited to see, just because I never am really. So that's it this week, guys. I'm going to call it a day there. I'm not sure whether I'll do one next week or not, obviously with there being no game. If there's enough news that I think I can cover, then I might just do a quick little video next Sunday, possibly covering what's happened on transfer deadline day. If there's any other little bits of news that I can cover, then I'll certainly do my best to get a little video out next week, guys. So yeah, as always, please do leave your thoughts in the comments below, or on Twitter at Chris Jones LUSC. Been some good sort of talk and debate recently over the past few weeks on this video. In general, had a lot of really nice comments from people saying how much they are enjoying this series and the style that it's in and everything, so really do appreciate comments like that. And also nice to see opposition fans getting involved and seeing some comments from opposing fans, which is really nice to see, because so often on footballing videos on YouTube, I've had it so much in the past on mine, which is kind of one of the things that kind of drew me away from doing it really. You get so much abuse in the comment section, and directed at me and directed at fellow fans and everything. So it really is so nice and so good when you get opposing fans coming on here just wanting to put their opinion across, debating about matches and everything and players and all sorts of things. And it just shows that it can be done in a nice environment and in a nice manner, instead of just swearing at each other for no reason. So if that does happen, guys, if opposing fans do come in and they're just wanting to talk about something that we all love, which is football, then just welcome them in. Let's have a nice conversation about it all, because there's no need to kind of go down the abusing route, because my God, it's happened too much on this channel and in the comment section before. So yeah, that's been really nice to see. So like I say, I'll leave it there, guys. I might see you next week. If not, I'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Try and enjoy the international break if you can. If it is your first time here, then please do leave a like and subscribe. That's always very much appreciated. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very soon.